Thank you, member. Recognizing member for Nelson Creston.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I am very pleased to be able to rise today and speak to the importance of improving employment opportunities here in British Columbia. As everyone knows, BC experienced, with the rest of the world, an economic downturn in 2008, causing many people to be laid off from their work and many others who were searching for work unable to find a job. And since that time, things have rebounded somewhat, but not nearly as much as they should, so that we can be getting people back into the jobs, good-paying jobs that they need to have a good life. And some of the economic shifts that are happening in our world today go right back to before you can get a job, but to the educational side of things, the skills, the training that's needed to get the job. And we know now that 80% of jobs in the near future are going to require some level of post-secondary education. And that's part of this larger picture around helping British Columbians get the jobs that they need to have a good life. But there's another part of this picture, Honourable Speaker, because the days of finishing your post-secondary education and going out and finding work right away on the heels of your degree, your diploma, your certificate, they just don't exist the way that they used to, Honourable Speaker. In fact, getting a job, despite having good credentials, is still quite difficult, and my generation knows that very keenly, unfortunately, Honourable Speaker. And so that's why we have employment programs that help people get the jobs. And in this province, they're noted as Work BC centres, and we have amazing Work BC centres all across this province doing fantastic work and wonderful employment programs, doing amazing work, helping people do things like create a resume, practice their interview skills, looking at career selection, what kind of career, what kind of job best suits them. Basic literacy. We know that literacy is an issue in this province, that it's not just a matter of a post-secondary education, but many people can't even get into post-secondary education because they don't have the literacy requirements. And many of our employment centres help them get those literacy requirements. Computer literacy. We all like to think that everybody has all the computer skills that they need, especially from my generation. We the ones who programmed the VCR for our parents, and so naturally fell into place with iPhones and all the new technology. But of course, with new technology comes a vast array of skills required for contemporary jobs, and employment centres help people get those computer literacy skills. And of course, there's life skills. And I can't think of anyone better, off the top of my head, than Peers, who's been helping women leave the sex trade, develop life skills to go into mainstream employment. This organization has done tremendous work for women, improving safety, security, financial stability in their lives. And I'm going to come back to what has happened to Peers as a result of what we're going to be talking about today. In my area, Kootenay Employment Services and Kootenay Career Development Services provide all of the services I've already talked about, and they do it for everyone, right? Whether they're what's considered a specialized population, whether somebody has a disability, somebody has been marginalized, like a youth at risk, or someone who is leaving post-secondary education, leaving Selkirk College and needing some help for the first time in getting that first career job. And they do amazing work, as I said. And I recall when I worked with youth at the Nelson and District Youth Centre, and young people coming in, and they had yet even identified what kind of career they wanted, and I would sit down with them and we would talk about what they wanted to pursue in life and the options available to them to do that, whether it was post-secondary education or maybe there was a posting on the job board already that they could apply for, and then setting them up with the skills they needed so that they could compete in the job market successfully. So you would think that with these employment programs and all the work that they do, that any jobs plan would see these services as integral to helping British Columbians get the jobs that they need. That these services would increase, especially in light of the economic times. But this is what we see with the budget, Honourable Speaker. We see a 46% cut to these services this year. And Honourable Speaker, that's not going to do British Columbians any good when it comes to getting a job. When services are cut, the very basic services that people need so that they can get a job, we are doing a disservice to British Columbians. 46% less this year coming from the province into our Work BC centres. How is that going to impact people's ability to create a resume? How is it going to impact people's ability to develop their interview skills? How is it going to impact organizations helping people develop life skills? Well, for peers, they had to shut their doors. They had to shut their doors because this cut comes on the heels of a major funding reorganization that is hurting smaller employment services like peers. And now we see another action by this government that's going to hurt our valuable, our integral employment services to make this province an economically stable and economically viable place so that people can get the jobs they need to have a good life, Honourable Speaker. Thank you.